It's always this left engine with George, isn't it? What are you doing, George, to this left engine? Last time I fixed it, and now you've come back again telling me it's hard to start and running rough and all sorts of stuff. So, alright, back into the left engine we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is episode 3 of Plane Mechanics Simulator, and we are going to be looking at the old Bristol Blenheim again. Basically, our pilot, George Martel, has been very loyally bringing the plane back to us after every one of his battle journeys, and we'll see just what's wrong with it this time, won't we? Because last time there was all these issues and I ended up pulling way too much apart on the left engine when I didn't have to, and then I ended up overfilling the oil, so poor old Georgie boy went flying up into the sky, and only God knows what happened to him once he came back. So let's go ahead and continue the game. I'm just going to choose airfield. I've changed the day to time of day of 10 o'clock in the morning, not 2 o'clock. So hopefully we get a little bit of a different sun position, I guess. So let's go ahead and start this episode and see what lays in wait for us this time. Oh, okay, it's raining. All right, so it says here, when we returned from the mission, the left engine started to run rough, and after we returned it does not want to start. Okay, so rough running, that could be actually ignition related this time around, and the good news is there's only one issue that's a problem with starting the left engine. Okay, so we don't have anything else to check in today's episode. It's basically just what's wrong with this left engine. So unfortunately the weather is not on our side this time around for episode 3. So this is the first time I'm standing here out in the rain in this game, but being the mechanic that we are, unfortunately, we're just going to have to do our job in the rain today. So might as well just go ahead and get going, shall we? So what I'm going to do first, and I think this is probably something that I should have done in the last episode as well, but I'm going to go ahead, whoops, and not climb up the ladder. I want to move this ladder. I always do that. I'm going to go ahead and just check the oil on this left engine first. We'll fill up the oil and then we'll attack the rest of the issue. Okay, so we'll get this fuel Bowser, this oil Bowser as it's called. I love how they put the differential action on these tires as well. That's actually pretty cool. Okay, we'll just drag this over here like so. Okay, and then we'll just go ahead and take the actual hose, and then we'll try not to, kind of tangled everything up here. Hose physics are pretty cool. Up we go. Oh, of course. Actually, can I do this at the same time? Nope, I can't. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so we're taking the oil cap off. Let's go and get the hose now again. Right, so go ahead and just put the hose in like so. So last time in episode 2, you may remember, I'll put a card up above to episode 2 if you haven't checked it out yet. We did have issues with engine starting on this left engine as well, so just as a bit of a history, that ended up just being an oil level issue for some weird reason, and I'm not sure why. I spent all this time trying to diagnose the ignition system, and then I ended up pulling the engine apart, which I didn't agree with having to do, and in the end it just ended up being an issue with the oil level. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to I'm going to be a bit more careful this time, because last time I did overfill the oil. So I'm just going to move this handle very carefully, make sure we return it back to the left hand side. Okay, there we go. I think that's perfect. So don't want it any more than that. Okay, because last time I did overfill the oil as well. Now I'm not I'm not confident that that is the only issue with this aircraft though. So even though we've done that, let's just move this back out of the way again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just going to have to pull these covers off and have a look once again, because this time we've checked all of the hang on, oh no, sorry. That weather is really just taking over the sounds, unfortunately. I'm just going to have to go ahead and check all of these ignition components, so just bear with me. This is the life of a mechanic, unfortunately. Nothing can be put to chance. Nope, me. Alright. So I've got access now to the engine. I'm not going to bother with the front engine cover. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go ahead and check all of the ignition components, and it has to be something's wrong with the spark plug. I can't really see anything else that could be the issue here. Something wrong with the spark plug or the spark plug cable. So it's just going to be a matter of checking each one of these. Who knows? It could even be the valves. Knowing the way that this game kind of goes, it could really be anything. But it would be nice if some of these things actually made sense. Okay, well, I might have to just take this cowl off anyway.
No.
Of course I have to take the propeller. Oh, look at that. The weather has subsided a little bit. That's good. Alright, let's take this propeller off.
No. No. Nope.
No?
No.
No. No. Okay, excellent. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work my way around the ignition system once again. It's always this left engine with George, isn't it? What are you doing, George, to this left engine? Last time I fixed it, and now you've come back again telling me it's hard to start and running rough and all sorts of stuff. So just going to check the spark plug cable, and I'm going to do this all the way around the engine, and I'll be back in touch with you very shortly. Okay folks, so that didn't take too long, thankfully. I think I might have found the culprit, and this time it makes a little bit more sense actually as to why this engine was running rough and now it doesn't want to start. Now already I've found here on one of these cylinders, and I'm not sure which one this is. I'm sure there's an order of count here, but I don't quite know that offhand right now. But anyway, I have found this spark plug right here. You can see there it's red in diagnostic mode. So you can see there, spark plug is damaged. So let's just check the surrounding area as well. Spark plug cable, that's all fine. Let's check the other spark plug. Yep, okay, so both of the spark plug both of the spark plugs on this particular cylinder are damaged. Okay, so just going to go ahead and, you know what, I'm just going to continue working my way around the engine, because I'm not convinced that that is the only issue. There might be other spark plugs on this engine that are also damaged, and if that's the case, then we need to find them out as well. Otherwise we're not going to be doing our job properly as a mechanic, are we? Who knows what's happened to this engine, but there could be other issues at play. So I'm going to continue working my way around all of the spark plugs. There's 2 of them per cylinder, because that's just how redundancy works in these aircraft engines. And hopefully there won't be any more damaged spark plugs, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm almost done here, just checking the remaining spark plugs on this engine. Ooh, okay, just found one more. Okay, only one on this cylinder. So just that one right there basically is also damaged. So far we've got 3 spark plugs that have issues. Just got one more here to check now. And that one's okay as well. Well, that makes a little bit more sense this time, I guess, that the engine was running rough. I haven't actually checked all the cables though. Probably should actually just check the cables real quick. So let me do that too. Now, of course, in real life, to check these spark plug cables, it's not just a matter of looking at them. I imagine you'd have to run some sort of conductivity or resistance check on them. So really, this kind of work would take a really long amount of time to do in real life. So if you think this is time consuming, try doing it in real life. Okay, very good. So I've now checked pretty much, just one more. Just checking the last spark plug. Okay, alright, excellent. Okay folks, so I've checked basically all the ignition system around the engine, and I've come up with 3 damaged spark plugs. There's 2 on this cylinder right here, and there's also one more hiding up here on this cylinder. All of the spark plug cables have been checked as well, and they're all okay. So at this point we know pretty much what was going on to cause the rough running and failure to start of this engine. So let's switch into disassembly mode, and basically I'm going to go ahead and just remove I need to take the cable off. Okay, so here's the spark plug itself. Okay, and then this one as well.
No.
Okay, so that one has been taken off. Now I believe there was one more damaged right here. So let's go ahead and take this spark plug cable out as well.
No.
No. So there's basically 2 bolts here to take the spark plug off. You need to take the cable out first, and then the spark plug just comes right on out of there. So we can see here spark plug damaged 3. It's a count of 3, and we can see here that they are not repairable, so no point going over to the workbench. Let's just head on over to the spare parts truck just here, and thank God that the weather has cleared up. We'll go ahead and just select what we want replaced and get these parts replaced. So now we've got 3 pristine spark plugs on our hands, and then we'll go ahead and basically replace these spark plugs. So we'll switch into assembly mode here. You can see here that we need to put a spark plug back on. Okay, very good. And then we do the same over this side. Actually, no, we don't need to do anything else. That's all done. So we can switch down to this cylinder down here. And don't forget to put these 2 bolts back in. And here the other spark plug for this cylinder. Righto. Okay, so at this point all we need to do is basically put the engine together, so I'm just going to put these covers back on. This doesn't take very long to do. Basically just all of these little screws down here. You got all these screws holding on the engine covers. Okay, I believe, what's going on? How come it's not letting me proceed anymore? There we go. Right, now, before we, actually let's put the propeller on as well, obviously. Do want the propeller. Otherwise, poor old George is not going anywhere, that's for sure. Okay, so we've refilled the oil, and we have changed out 3 spark plugs in this session, and basically that was all that was wrong with this left engine. Now the right engine or all the other stuff haven't been reported, so I'm not even going to bother checking them. Before I do sign off on the job, always just check your inventory, and you can see here that I have forgotten to put the oil cap on once again, so let's go ahead and do that. I think I did this last time as well. Okay, so let's just put this back on. Okay, that should have been done right after I filled up the oil, but I forgot all about it, unfortunately. Okay, now we can check. We can see we've got no parts on our hands. Okay, so everything must be on the plane at the moment. There's no bolts left behind, so at this point we can just go ahead and sign off, and I think this has been a successful task this time around. We're going to send off old George back into the battlefield again and see what he comes back with next time, hey? Okay, so now I think we're ready to sign off on this job once and for all and get this thing done. So I'm just going to go ahead and click sign to confirm, and hopefully if everything's done right, we will get a nice tick, which is what we're hoping for, and not a cross, and we'll get some merit points too, hopefully. Yes! Not all parts properly screwed in. Some parts may get damaged. Oh no, the engine bottom cover. Oh boy. Okay, still got a good job though. Alright, well that's interesting. Sorry George, I hope your engine bottom cover doesn't cause you any grief this time when you go to fly next time, because unfortunately it might be a little bit loose, old chap. Thank you so much for watching. I'll just keep it nice and short here, I think. Hopefully you're all enjoying these little missions, these little episodes of Plane Mechanic Simulator as well. I do enjoy making them. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Always nice to hear your comments as well. Please let me know what you thought about this video. Share the video as well if you like. And I will catch you all in the next one.